What I'm about to say applies to you if you are in a 9 to 5, regardless of your location. You need to make sure that your income is as recession proof as possible. Job security is unfortunately really weak at the moment, and it doesn't matter whether you've been working for 2 years or 20 years. Unfortunately, having a salary is increasingly not enough, especially if you live in a highly cosmopolitan city like London, Paris, New York, Lagos, or even if you are cosmopolitan city adjacent. The bottom line is costs are rising, layoffs are rising, real wages aren't rising, and government policies seem to be getting worse. You get the point. I'm sure you've seen in the news that mass layoffs are happening in the US, and in the UK, we are hemorrhaging jobs every month. The employment figures came out yesterday in the UK, and it showed that we lost 41,000 jobs in June. And this is the 5th consecutive month of job losses. The only times in the past where the job data has looked this bad were times that we were just at the start of a major crash. Things are not looking very rosy right now. Having said all that, this video is not to scare you or cause hysteria. In fact, I'll focus less on the data points. You can always read about those online. Instead, I'd like to focus on things that you can start doing today to ensure that you protect yourself if the worst happens. Your employer, as wonderful as I'm sure they are a business first, and their bottom line is what matters the most. The value they're creating for shareholders is what matters. In the pecking order of priorities, if the worst happens and the hammer comes down, it goes senior management and then everybody else. That's harsh, but it's true. And so you need to look after yourself and look after your money. Let me ask you this question. If your manager calls you into his or her office and says to you, "I'm really sorry, but we have to let you go," would you be able to survive the next 3 months or however long it might take for you to get another job? If you can answer that confidently and you have enough funds to cover your living expenses, you are already 3 steps ahead. And to those of us who don't have this, there isn't a need to panic. As long as you're in a 9 to 5, you can start doing this today. What you need to start doing is putting together whatever you can every single month into an emergency fund. Now, on this channel, I talk a lot about personal finance, investing, and wealth creation. But before you start investing, you do need a safety net. When I was still in a 9 to 5 job and I finally got around to getting my finances in order, the first thing I did was to build an emergency fund that covered 12 months living expenses. Because although I was fairly confident that I wouldn't lose my job, I know, hubris, bad thing. I also had to bear in mind that all of my employers were businesses, and no one can predict or prepare for all economic events. So much is happening around the world, and it is remarkable to think that events and turmoils that are happening in different regions or countries that seem so far removed from our daily lives or our daily realities actually can have such a direct impact on our cost of living. Take the Middle East, for example. Historically, when there has been turmoil or unrest in the Middle East, that has directly had an impact on the price of oil. Typically, when oil prices are higher for an extended period of time, those increases in oil prices are passed on to you and I as consumers. And so you start to see your fuel or your petrol prices go up. You start to see your energy bills go up as well. And so, although these events may seem so far removed from our realities, there is such a thing in economics or in finance called contagion, a contagion effect. This is a situation where one country or one region sneezes and every other country and region catches a cold. I posted a video recently on the 4 types of income there are. And I also explained in that video why your salaried income is the worst type of income you can earn, and why business income or investment income is a higher quality and a better type of income. And if you would like to watch this after this video, I will put a link in the description box. In this video, I explained how we are being ripped off by such high personal tax rates, whilst businesses, on the other hand, get such favorable tax treatments and very favorable tax rates. For example, businesses get taxed on their profits after expenses, whereas with you and I, it's quite the opposite. The government can take up to 45% of taxes and other social benefit contributions, and then we get to pay our expenses and live off of what's left over. And even worse, there are other taxes that come after that. When you invest, you get taxed. If you save, you get taxed on your savings. So it really is a perpetual cycle of taxation. I also talked about passive income and why this is a better quality income than one you have to sell your time for. For example, your salaried income. If you're a single individual and your income more than covers your expenses, Or if you live in a two-income household and one of those incomes is enough to cover all of your expenses or maybe most of your expenses, that's fantastic because you can put the second income towards investing or even starting a business. Now, there are many investment types you can make or even businesses you can start. However, with rising costs, you may want to think about starting a business that requires very little to no upfront costs and no storage costs. My sister is a medical doctor and she is an extremely gifted artist, and she started a print-on-demand business. She gets to express her creativity whilst leaving the heavy lifting, the logistics, the operational aspects to her manufacturing partner. And you too can start a print-on-demand business with today's sponsor, Printful. Print-on-demand is a fantastic business because anyone can do it. I run a retail brand via Shopify, and you can start making extra income from your brand using Printful. As you know, I'm a huge proponent for passive income, and apart from the initial setup, which all businesses need to undergo anyway, using Printful is completely passive and scalable. No production headaches, no inventory or storage costs, which reduce your risks massively. And because Printful ships from different fulfillment centers worldwide, your customers avoid import duties or fees. And it's also incredible that some of the world's biggest brands like Coca-Cola, Spotify, CBS all use Printful. So you are getting the same quality with zero upfront costs. Here is how it works. Select a product you'd like to sell from Printful's catalog. Add your design. Then link your Printful accounts to Shopify, TikTok, Etsy, etc. Click publish, and just like that, you are a business owner. Now, all you have to do is market your products and make sales online. When an order comes in, Printful prints and delivers the product to your customers, while you get to keep the profit margin that you've set. So click on the link below to get started for free, and I would love to hear how your business takes off. It's time to update your CV. And here's a tip. Whilst doing this, think about the best way to present your skills, your accomplishments, as well as your experiences to your next employer. And secondly, put your best achievements on the first page and also use power words. I recently met a recruiter, and this individual informed me that they now widely apply AI when it comes to the initial screening of CVs. Additionally, they also screen for certain words. And they also told me about a very sneaky trick that you can apply to sprinkle these words all over your CV without it being too obvious. When you are updating your CV, put yourself in the position of a recruiter who has to get through hundreds or maybe even thousands of CVs. Once these CVs have been shortlisted using AI, there still might be tens or even hundreds of CVs left to review. And these recruiters may only allocate a few minutes per CV. They are looking for your most recent achievements as well as your skills. And so if your best foot isn't on the first page, you risk missing out on opportunities because your CV doesn't present well. And please do not wait until you are unfortunately laid off or you are searching for a new job. It's easier to update these details now because they are fresh in your mind. These are things or tasks that you do on a daily basis. Updating your CV could take 1 hour tops, but it's very important. Also think about those tasks or those projects that you've worked on that are really for pay grades above you, that maybe you have been given the responsibility for. This is how you set yourself apart from your peers because it shows that you are capable and already doing the job of someone who's more senior to you. It's also a very good pitch for a promotion. The second thing you can do is to take courses or maybe even complete examinations if necessary to bridge any gaps you may have in your skill set. The bottom line is make yourself very marketable, and once you've done that, be sure to put it on your CV. Relationships matter. And if you aren't already, start reconnecting with colleagues, with industry peers. Join WhatsApp groups where those in your industry constantly post job descriptions and open positions, and may even be recruiting for these positions themselves. Have recruiters, or as we call them in England, headhunters, on speed dial. Find good mentors, preferably those in more senior positions to you who have a very solid network and can potentially help you if and when needed. Some of the best jobs aren't advertised. They all come down to who you know. And a good network can lead to quick job leads as well as opportunities if you lost your job. I will sound like a broken record on this point, but it is important. For your peace of mind, you need to get your finances in order. Know your numbers, your income, your expenses, any debt you have, and what interest rates you're paying on those. You need to at least have an idea of how you intend to service these liabilities if the worst happens. And this is why having another flow of cash coming in through investing, starting a business, renting out a room in your home, selling things you no longer need, or even selling your skill sets beyond your primary job, any of the above could be an additional source of income. And just like that, my dear friends, we have come to the end of another video. Be sure to share this video with friends, family members who you think might benefit from the information. And if you aren't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, click on the notification bell so you do not miss new weekly videos on personal finance and financial freedom. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.